On September 11th of 2001, two 767 airliner crashed in each of the twin towers. A huge fire followed the collision and it ended with the collapse of both skycrashers.
Early in the morning at 8:46 a.m., 5 hijackers crashed American Airlines Flight 11 into the northern facade of the World Trade Center's North Tower. At 9:03 a.m., another 5 hijackers crashed United Airlines Flight 175 into the southern facade of the South Tower. The attack demoralized the American. The engine, the landing gear, the fuselage, all of them fall down, spreading debris around the streets of Manhattan. The aircraft impacted the towers at a high speed, causing a big damage to the structure. The speeds were compressed between 700 and 800 kilometers per hour. The 9/11 World Trade Center attack becomes a human disaster. The total number of victims rises up to 2,871 casualties. As the impact roll angle is up to 30 degrees, the number of floors affected by the attack is high. It then becomes a crucial factor for the future collapsing of the structure. 5 to 6 minutes later, World Trade Center 2 falls down. 102 minutes later, World Trade Center 1 collapses too. In the video, it is possible to observe the aircraft flying towards the wall. The first plane crashes just in the middle of the tower. However, the second plane, at 9:03 a.m., crashes in the tower displayed from the center, at the right part. It then becomes a key factor for the damage and the collapsing of the structure.
Each World Trade Center towers have 4 basic components. The main core, formed by 48 steel columns, the perimeter tube, which is a very innovative idea that makes the structure lighter, formed by 244 columns. The third component is the roof, that connects all the perimeter tube columns and supports the wind lateral forces. The last component is the flats. Each floor has 4 inches of concrete supported by a grid of steel bars that connect all the main core columns with the perimeter tube. The innovative design allows to have a lot of free space between the internal and external columns. The floors are reinforced with steel bars, making the structure very light.
Now we're gonna talk about the failure hypothesis. The main causes of the building collapsing were the aircraft impact damage, the fire weakening the structure, and then suddenly the building collapse. About the aircraft impact damage, as we can see in the image, all areas of the building were damaged. The core columns were severed. Also, the exterior columns were destroyed. Many of the floors sagged because of the impact, and many furniture was projected as debris. Because of the debris projection and also the plane debris, many of the fire protection was damaged. As we can see in the image, the light blue area is the fire protection that went down because of the impact on the plane and the debris projection. Also, some fuel was sprayed over the floors, which caused fire.
The roof of the affected floors lost the thermal protection. High temperatures due to fuel burning inside produced the truss bars of steel presented thermal weaknessing and reduction of the mechanical properties. The elastic modulus were reduced and it started to plastic at a lower stresses.
The failure sequence is explained here. The second tower took 55 minutes to fall, and the first one took 1 hour and 40 minutes. It is thought that the building collapsed because of the chain effect of the floor sagging. We can see in the image the floor curved sagging. As one floor collapses, the second one has to hold the double of the weight, which causes it to collapse also. When many floors collapse, the exterior columns are not connected with the inside core, which makes its buckling distance to double, and its critical load is divided by 4, which makes them collapse. Here we see a video of a simulation of the floor sagging because of the effect of temperature. When the exterior columns collapse, the building starts tilting in one side. This extremely overcharges the core structure, which makes it break, and when there is no core, the building cannot stand vertically and it starts falling down because of gravity. Here we see a result of a simulation of the building tilting. We see the displacement in the horizontal direction, which lead to the final collapse. We can see here some images of the process of the building tilting and also some images of the building collapsing.
2. False tilting. However, World Trade Center 1 falls completely straight. As a consequence, the compressed arc on the first floor completely destroys the nearby buildings.
It is quite clear that the principal responsible for the failure of the World Trade Center was the terrorist action led by Osama bin Laden. In the later commission, it was determined that there were not any deficiency for which the designers could be blamed. However, some corrective measures were found. The sailing sprinklers were completely insufficient, and also the system was partially broken by the plane crash. The heat isolation of the structural elements was not prepared for the collision, and was partially removed. Moreover, there were many problems to evacuate the upper floors, since the stairways were destroyed by the collision. Those should have been more resistant. The building had a big safety margin, but it was not so considerable in the floor trusses. Finally, it was concluded that it was necessary a regulation which takes into account the event of an airliner crash.
Thanks for attention.